Good morning. I'm Dr. Richard, and if you've been with me for a while, you know I don't like wasting your time with fluff. So let's get right into it. I want to talk to you today about your heart, specifically about the first 30 minutes after you wake up. Because in my years practicing medicine, I've noticed something interesting. The patients with the healthiest hearts almost always share one small morning habit. It's not a supplement. It's not an expensive gadget. And it takes less time than making your coffee. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly what that habit is, why it matters physiologically, and, more importantly, how to build it into your life starting tomorrow morning. So stick with me. Section 1. Why mornings matter for your heart. Let's start with a question most people never think to ask. Why would the morning specifically matter for heart health? Here's the answer. Your cardiovascular system doesn't wake up the moment your eyes open. It goes through a transition. Overnight, your blood pressure naturally dips. That's a good thing. It's called nocturnal dipping, and it gives your heart a break. But in the first hour after waking, your body releases a surge of cortisol and adrenaline to get you moving. Your blood pressure rises. Your heart rate increases. Your blood becomes slightly more prone to clotting. This window even has a nickname in cardiology circles, the morning surge. And it's not just a curiosity. It's clinically significant. A meaningful share of heart attacks and strokes cluster in the late morning hours, precisely because of this surge. So here's the logic. If we can smooth out that surge, soften the spike instead of letting it hit your system all at once, we may be doing our cardiovascular system a real favor. And that brings me to the habit. Section 2. The habit. A brief morning walk. The habit is simple. A short walk, outdoors, within the first hour of waking. 10 to 15 minutes is enough. You don't need to power walk. You don't need a fitness tracker buzzing at you. You just need to move your body outside before the day swallows you whole. Let me explain why this specific habit, and not just exercise more in general, seems to matter so much. First, light movement blunts the morning surge. Gentle physical activity encourages healthy circulation and helps your blood pressure rise more gradually rather than spiking. Think of it as easing your cardiovascular system into the day instead of jolting it awake. Second, morning light exposure regulates your internal clock. Your eyes have specialized cells that respond to natural light and help set your circadian rhythm. A well-regulated circadian rhythm is linked to healthier blood pressure patterns, better sleep at night, and, over time, reduced strain on your heart. Artificial indoor light, even bright light, doesn't send the same signal nearly as effectively as the sun does. Third, walking outdoors tends to lower stress hormones. Cortisol is necessary. It's part of what wakes you up. But chronically elevated cortisol is hard on blood vessels. A short walk seems to help that cortisol curve come down faster instead of lingering high into the morning. Put those three things together: gentler blood pressure rise, circadian regulation, and lower stress hormone lingering. And you start to see why this one habit shows up again and again in the daily routines of people with strong cardiovascular health. Section 3. What the research suggests. Now, I want to be responsible here because I know how health content works on this platform. Everything gets turned into a miracle cure. I'm not going to do that to you. What we can say is this: multiple population studies have found associations between regular morning walking and lower rates of hypertension, improved arterial function, and better long-term cardiovascular outcomes. Researchers studying circadian biology have also shown that consistent morning light exposure correlates with more stable blood pressure rhythms. Correlation isn't the same as proof of causation in every single case. I'll always be upfront with you about that distinction. But when you have a habit that is low cost, low risk, biologically plausible, and consistently associated with better outcomes across many different studies and populations, that's about as strong a signal as preventive medicine ever gives us. We rarely get a randomized controlled trial for something as simple as walk outside in the morning, but the convergence of evidence is genuinely compelling. So my clinical take, after seeing this pattern in patient after patient, this is a habit worth adopting, not because it's a guaranteed fix, but because it stacks the odds in your favor. Section 4. How to actually build this habit. All right, let's make this actionable, because understanding why something works means nothing if you don't actually do it. Step 1. Do it before anything else pulls your attention. Before email, before the news, before your phone, ideally. The moment you check your phone, your cortisol and attention get hijacked by other people's agendas, and the walk becomes far less likely to happen. Step 2. Keep the bar low. 10 minutes. That's it. You are not training for a marathon at 6 a.m. You're giving your cardiovascular system a gentle on-ramp into the day. If 10 minutes turns into 20 because you're enjoying it, wonderful. But 10 is the target, not the minimum acceptable outcome. Step 3. Get outside, even in bad weather. I know a treadmill by a window feels like a reasonable substitute, and it's certainly better than nothing, but real outdoor light, even on a cloudy day, is dramatically brighter than indoor lighting, often by a factor of 10 or more. That difference matters for your circadian signal. Step 4. Pair it with something you already do. Habit stacking works. If you already make coffee every morning, try. Wake up, put the kettle on, walk while it heats, come back and drink your coffee. If you already let the dog out, extend that into your own short walk. Attaching a new habit to an old one dramatically increases the odds it sticks. Step 5. Track it loosely, not obsessively. A simple check mark on a calendar is enough. You're not trying to optimize this to the minute. You're trying to make it automatic, the way brushing your teeth is automatic.